I'm just saying that means that cancel out anything underneath the hood if the number 2 works.
Oh, it could be the magnet in the distributor out there. You got 2 pickups in the distributor. It could be one of them.
Tony Uri Sr. talking to Dale Earnhardt. You saw Tony when he pushed the button on the headset, and the signal's been given to the 1 lap to go before the green flag is waved. And
here's why we were under caution. We'll show you on lap number 2 down in turn 1. It just all broke loose.
And we see about 10 cars involved. Mike McLaughlin, he hits the back of Kenny Schrader. He runs in the back of 2 more cars before he can finally get stopped.
Let's go down the right-hand lap.
Well, Doc, they've got the Gould Pump Chevrolet back here. The team is all over it, but let's get a word from Mike McLaughlin here. Mike, what happened from your perspective?
I don't know. A couple cars got tangled up front a little bit, and, you know, you got to go. But when things happen that early on the start of a race like that, anything can happen, and it did. We were caught up in it, but they'll get it back together. We'll ride around, get some points, and see what we can do next week with the Gould Pump Chevrolet.
Unbelievable bad break. We're about to go back to green on the racetrack.
And you saw that graphic. His worst finish of the year came here back in June of 34th. He may better that or worse than that tonight, as he right now is one of 3 cars that are out being worked on.
And Tim Feeder with the 33 car, we saw him be involved in the accident. He is 1 lap down up there. Oh, and the Santerre about loses it.
That's Kevin LePage in the car number 40, the channel lock machine, challenging the inside of Andy Santerre, who was our pole sitter.
You see the 33 car puffing some smoke out the exhaust.
Kyle, looks like these guys think this is a 30-lap race instead of a 250-lap race.
I think they thought it was a 2-lap race to begin with when they first started out, going 3 wide into the first corner at Bristol. But this is that type of racetrack. Everybody's trying to get to the bottom of the racetrack, get some track position, and once they maintain here for 4 or 5 laps, then it's a really, really good place to race on. You'll see a lot of passing.
Now, these guys qualified in round 1 last night on Thursday afternoon. Actually, in round 2 was earlier today. How much different will this racetrack be now than it was when they qualified during the daylight?
The one thing about this racetrack is it's constantly changing right now. As I said when we first started, they had a sealer on them. And I know everyone talked about the sealer when we run up at New Hampshire. Same type sealer. It's beginning to wear off, so the racetrack's constantly changing. But the racetrack is really tacky right now. So I don't think the racetrack's going to get a lot tighter or a lot looser one way or the other. I think it should be pretty close to what it was when they practiced this afternoon.
And we see that the racetrack is pretty doggone decent because Kevin LePage in the Cadillac car and the 33 car has been black flagged for something. But we see the 33 car on the Kevin LePage and the 40 car on the outside has been able to run on the in the outside groove and make some ground. As a matter of fact, he's keeping Andy Santerre behind him. And here comes Purvis. And Buckshot Jones is back in the fence up in turn 3.
There's the Bayer Pontiac for Buckshot. Here comes your leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Spotters telling their drivers there's a car up against the wall. Now he has rolled across the racetrack in turn 4 as Carl Simmons will wave the caution flag for yet a second time. And we still don't have 15 laps complete.
And we see Earnhardt Jr. come by, take the caution flag. All the cars slow down.
All right, working caution for the second time tonight here at Richmond International Raceway. Dale Earnhardt Jr., our early leader, followed by Kevin LePage and Andy Santerre. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Back at Richmond International Raceway in Rico County, Virginia, working the second caution flag tonight here, coming out on lap number 13. Action hot and heavy early on under the lights, Busch Series style. We'll show you it was actually lap 14 the caution came out. And here's the action in turn 3.
It's already in progress, and we see Buckshot Jones. We heard some communication between the crew, said he got tapped from behind. He kind of looks that way. We see Mark Martin as he looks back, and Buckshot, that's Dick Trickle, the car right behind him now. Whether or not there's contact or not, I don't know, because we can't see. Elton Sawyer, the Barbasol car, sees the accident happen in front of him.
Well, why don't we find out from Buckshot himself? I think Bill Weber standing by.
And Buckshot has climbed out of the car, and he's just gotten off the radio talking to his spotter on the roof, who had a better view of what happened out on the racetrack. He's surveying the damage on his car, which is substantial. The left side is bashed in. They've got some suspension damage to the right, or the left front. Hey! Buckshot, what happened?
I don't know. I don't want to say nothing. All I know is it was early in the race, and I don't know. If the car was behind me, you know, I don't want to get into all that, but I sure as heck didn't see him. And, you know, I know is we got a tore up car. We're just a few laps into this race, but I don't know.
And 6th in points coming in, and obviously the disappointing finish you had last week.
Yeah, you know, just things don't seem to be going our way. You know, I think we had a really good car here tonight. Just trying to bide our time, and I don't know, just really disgusted with what happened this early.
Okay, obviously very frustrated. Buckshot Jones behind the wall.
Boy, lots of fireworks here early tonight. We'll show you Tony Stewart's Shell Pontiac, or what's left of it. He was involved. They're taking the shell off that car. Basically, he was involved in the first caution flag tonight, coming out on lap number 2. And Kyle, they're putting the string to it.
That's always a bad sign. That means he's been hit hard on one of those front corners, and his steering's all out of whack. And you can live with a lot of things bent, but you can't live with the steering bent.
Oh, it's a tough night here. Saturday night, short track action on Friday night. It is Friday night Busch Series. Tomorrow night comes the Winston Cup. Back with more in just a moment.
Spencer's moved up to 22nd spot.
They just read it off the panel, right? I got you. Thank you, Mikey. You're the man. Surgically speaking.
Surgically. Okay, there you go. 3 midgets.
Who is this kind of pig? Oh.
Yes.
All right. Back at Richmond International Raceway, this beautiful shot of this massive crowd, courtesy of the fine folks at Pennzoil on our Pennzoil Copter Camp. What a perfect night here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. for NASCAR action, and what a crowd. Look at those grandstands. They are packed for Busch Series
Clear,
action
all clear.
on Friday night. Restarting here on lap 22 of 250.
Did Lyndon Amick going down in the corner. Good run tonight for Lyndon. Once again, Tim Phelan. Now this time you saw him lined up on the inside. That was the proper place to be. The last time he was lined up on the outside, he got black flagged because of it, for lining up on the wrong place.
I was just getting ready to ask you. I know I don't understand the rules of Busch racing, but he was on outside one restart, inside the next, and I didn't understand that. Thanks for clarifying.
The old rule used to allow them to line up on the outside. They changed it at the beginning of last year to follow the Winston Cup rule. Now, speaking of following, here's Mark Martin trying to get by Dave Blaney. Martin's Winn-Dixie Ford. Blaney in the car number 93, the Amico Ultimate Pontiac.
And Dick Trickle's checking this out. Trickle's running back in about 12th spot. This is a battle for 10th. Right between them, and who's running 10th? I don't know. Looks like a toss-up to me.
Two great short track races here. Mark Martin probably has more laps on asphalt short tracks. Blaney has more laps on dirt, and they're running door to door and not giving each other plenty of room.
And the guy following is no slouch either. That guy named Dick Trickle had that great run last week at Darlington, just sitting there waiting. So now, do I go with the dirt track guy or do I follow the asphalt guy?
And we see that's Kevin's Grubb, the 52 car that's closing right on the back of Dick Trickle. Here comes Michael Waltrip in the deal. And Michael trying to get on the inside of Kevin Grubb, and he will do it. Nope, he backs off.
Once again, that is for 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th position. The 60 car is 10th. Michael Waltrip is 14th in that group you're watching on the screen.
Hermie Sadler also in that group. Did a walk to Chevrolet. We're riding on board with Hermie Sadler, the Peebles onboard camera, as he looks at Michael Waltrip and says, okay, now how can I get up there? How can I get by that Band-Aid car? Now let me see. If I go right to the bottom of the racetrack, that's what he did. Maybe I just need to follow this guy and wait a little while.
Now one car on the move is that car number 12, the Zippo Chevrolet for Jimmy Spencer, trying to make a move inside of the 38, the Barbasol car. As you ride along with that track gear machine of Jeff Burton, he follows Spencer, or tries to follow Spencer, but Elton Sawyer.
And Spencer now goes into 17th position. Wow. And Jimmy Spencer was qualified, the car qualified in 28th position, but he had to go back to the very end of the field and started dead last, is now working his way forward.
So from 43rd to 19th, pretty good run early on here in just less than 30 laps.
I'm sorry, he started 16th. I looked at my wrong notes. Well, I get to making notes, right?
That's David Green in the Stanley car, number 36. You see Elton Sawyer now following Jimmy Spencer. From 34th to 18, pretty good move for Elton Sawyer, too.
Yes, it is. You ever see the other Grubb boy? This is Wayne Grubb in the 83, trying to get by Glenn Allen in 99. And he does so.
Kyle, how soon, if you're like a Glenn Allen, do you look up and look and see that you got a guy like Mark Martin coming?
You start looking for Mark Martin when they drop the green flag. I don't care where he starts. Everybody starts looking for, and Jeff Burton at a place like this. But, in this type of situation, Glenn Allen's qualified really well tonight. His car's not working quite as good as these other guys, and he may be holding them up a little bit. But, he's looking for him to go inside, outside, and both lanes are working right now at this racetrack.
Glenn Allen qualified 5th. Right now he's running in 9th place, and Mark will be trying to drive on the outside in just a second.
It looks like some of these guys that run the Winston Cup like you do, Kyle, they sort of get in a rhythm early on in this race, and then that rhythm sort of helps them go car by car by car. How long does it take to get comfortable in that rhythm?